fool right here.
Okay, first of all, ain't nobody talking while I'm talking, so shut the up. My name is Uncle Ruckus, and I will be nigger-sitting you two until your grandfather returns. Your granddaddy picked me because I am a licensed zoologist. I have studied a variety of wild animals, and the African male is by far the most savagely cunning. This is an opportunity to observe you niggas in your natural habitat and collect data. But be warned, whatever nigger trickery you got up your sleeves does not affect me.
What's good, everybody? It's your boy Dark Star Menace, and definitely back with another episode of Kicking the Hornets Nest. Normally, I had a topic I had originally planned, but you know what? I'll probably blend that topic into my stream for tomorrow because, it kind of relates to doing the comic books, anime, and nerd podcast that I usually do on the weekend. So yeah, I think today I'm just gonna kind of like really cut loose. Just really kind of, I guess I'm just gonna really kick the fucking hornet's nest today because over the past week, I've been I've been dealing with some criticism that I've been getting, just apparently over some stupid ass comment when it came to the whole thing with motherfuckers debating this Netflix Cleopatra shit. And apparently I had an opinion where I basically just said, like, when it just comes to, I guess, history of other countries, especially even Egypt, they should be allowed to tell their story, tell their history. It's not up to us to dictate their history. And I think that's fair. Because I even used the comparison that's like somebody from China going to fucking Mexico and they're telling Mexicans their fucking history. And that's a fair analogy. It's a fair analogy. And I even said, like, and I even said it's stupid that, like, a lot of times when we want to link ourselves, as black people, when we want to link ourselves to Africa, we're real quick to link ourselves to Egypt. But we don't ever talk about the other stories in Africa about the Yoruba tribe. We don't ever talk about Mansa Musa. We never talk about, the Queen of Sheba. We don't ever talk about, Shaka Zulu and the Zulu tribe. We never talk about that shit. You don't see any movies made about those dudes. But no, we only see movies made about the Egyptians. And we always make this assumption just because it's in Africa, we think Africa is all black people. And it's like, no, man, we all got to do our research, man. Like North Africa, it's mostly, it's mostly Arab people. Motherfuckers that get that Arab money. Let me stop fucking joking right now. Let me stop trying to joke right now. But on the real, like, even I've been doing some reading and I've even been learning from people from that region. They've actually put me on to some shit about their history, and I thought that was pretty interesting. Where they're a mixture of like Southern European, I think it was like East Asia, yeah, West Asians, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, salute worldwide, salute Matt K, by the way. Where the fuck are my fucking manners, man? I didn't even freaking salute anybody that came in, man. Sorry, it's just been a rough couple weeks just dealing with this shit. I said my piece. Nothing wrong with what I said. You could tell me if I was fucked up for what I said, I just, as long as you explain, what I said, where I fucked up at. That's all I ask. I was even saying, like, as black people, we need to be able to do a DNA test and figure out where the hell we come from and stop automatically linking ourselves to Egypt. Because again, there's other parts of Africa that have so much fucking history that we could fucking learn. But apparently when I said that shit, all the black YouTube basically had their guns, air slings and arrows, fucking swords, whips, chains, freaking shit, French ticklers, nipple tweakers pointed at me and shit. I was like, the fuck did I say? Like it was just fucking insane. Like I had people fucking calling me a fucking sellout, saying, I hate myself, I hate my mom. You know, I don't give a fuck if you say all that shit. But yesterday, motherfucker said some shit that really triggered me. I had a motherfucker turn around and ask, basically try to say, "Oh, you're not black, bro." Pretty much. I pretty much had fucking hoteps trying to come at me with freaking 45s, 9 mils, and fucking spears and shit. That like, bruh. And it was like even then everybody's basically saying, "Oh well," like throwing all these freaking facts, and I'm kind of like, okay, shit. I'm even saying, "Yo, post a link to freaking substantiate your argument." It is like if you got like my thing is this: if you're gonna make a fucking statement or a claim, substantiate that shit with a fucking substantiate your argument with a fucking proof. And that's all I've been saying the whole time. If you don't got proof, shut the fuck up. You know? But I didn't really say shut the fuck up like that. Like I said it in a nice way, like you. I basically said substantiate your argument, otherwise keep it moving. You know? But it was when that person really came out of their way to question my blackness, like that triggered the fuck out of me. It triggered the fuck out of me, and I'm gonna fucking tell you why it triggered the fuck out of me. Because as far back as from when I was like 7 years old, I had motherfuckers trying to do that shit to me, trying to question my blackness. For what? Because I talked proper. I was into fucking anime and shit, comic books. Just because I was a fucking nerd, I was always that kid doing his fucking homework, always reading fucking books, trying to fucking learn new shit. And you want to question my fucking blackness, man? Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. Like, the fuck out of here. Like, motherfuckers like that, to me, motherfuckers like that are the reason why I feel like as black people, we could be doing so much, but we can't. Because we're too busy fucking trying to big up the stupid motherfuckers that want to say all the fucking dumb shit that brings our culture down. Instead of trying to, celebrate black excellence, we celebrate all the debauchery. We celebrate all the fuck shit. And I'm tired of that shit. I didn't want to be like every other fucking black kid out there, fucking sitting up there talking shit to the fucking teacher, not doing my fucking homework, always getting into fights. But let's be honest, when it came middle school, that's all I was doing was getting in the motherfucking fights. You know? That's all I was doing was fighting motherfuckers in middle school. You know? And it's funny that like how everyone wants to try to say, oh, other races of people don't respect you, all this shit. Other races of people don't like you, they hate you, all this shit, But it's like growing up, I never got smoke from other races of people. If anything, the only people, the majority of the time, I got bullied the most by other black people a lot of times. My own people, majority of the time, were the ones that fucking victimized me, demonized me, shamed me for being me, just for being that kid that was wanting to fucking ride a fucking skateboard. Blast all different types of music, whether it was hip hop, rock music, freaking reggae, ska. I was always fucking getting picked on. I was always getting clowned on. You know, I was always that motherfucker getting clowned on. But then it's like at the same time, like I'm supposed to sit up here and I'm supposed to defend I'm supposed to sit up here and go with the narrative. I'm supposed to toe this magical fucking line. Like, that's not how I roll. Like, unlike other motherfuckers out there, I operate on fucking principle. I actually have a fucking moral code that I go by. You know, I give everybody the same energy. I don't give a fuck who you are. I don't give a shit. You could be a man, woman, you can be black, white, fucking Asian, you could be Latino, you can be from the Middle East, you could be from fucking Australia. Hell, your ass can even be coming from the fucking North Pole, coming from freaking Santa's workshop. And you know what? I'm still gonna be treating your ass the fucking same. Regardless. Do not give a fuck. Do not give a shit. I give the same energy. I give the same energy all around to everybody. I just do. And even then, like I don't even give a fuck. Even if you're straight, you're gay, trans, any of that shit, you're still gonna either gonna get still gonna get respect from me or not. That's just what it is, man. That's just how I roll. And then, damn, since I even said that, damn. Okay, since I fucking said the trans shit, okay, I gotta fucking get this out here because this is some shit that's been irking me for weeks now. Like, what the fuck is it with motherfuckers on YouTube, especially like these content creators that like got thousands of subscribers, maybe millions of subscribers. Y'all sitting up here worried about who is trans and who's fucking a trans person. I'm sorry, that shit is fucking weird. It's weird. Why do we got dudes worried about who's fucking turn around fucking a trans person? Why does that fucking matter, dude? Like I've been noticing that shit pop up in my fucking YouTube feed and I'm just like, y'all need to chill the fuck out. Like, why y'all worry about where this motherfucker's dick is going? Like, what are we, like the dick police now? Are we trying to fucking police up where people stick their dick in? Like, if it ain't like, my thing is this: if if that person's messing around with with another man or another woman or a trans woman or whatever, if that's their choice, that's their fucking choice. It's not on us to fucking turn around and be like, oh, this person sleeping with a man. Or like, who gives a fuck? Let that motherfucker do what the fuck they want to do. Just like if like let's say I don't know, let's say one day Kim Kardashian decides she want to fucking turn around and fuck around with females. Gives a fuck. Let her fuck around fucking females. We be spending too much time worried about all this dumb shit, but we're not paying attention to all the shit that's going on around us. People think, right? Exactly, worldwide. Exactly. People be staying in other people's bedrooms for some strange reason. Like, my thing is this: whatever two consenting adults do behind closed doors, ain't my fucking business. All right, not my business, and it shouldn't be y'all's fucking business. That's just a little sus. If you worrying about if where that who that dude is smashing, that's a little weird. It's a little right. Like exactly. Like I don't. I've never understood why people are fascinated by that shit. Especially if you're a dude fascinated in where another dude's dick is going. At that point, like, especially if you're one of those dudes that's like claiming to be like masculine, like hyper masculine, and say you're in your masculine and you're an alpha male, and you worry about what dude is sleeping with who. That's a little feminine if you ask me. Like that's on some feminine shit. Oh, I'm sorry. Like when the fuck did we turn around and become the dick police? Like stop. We need to stop dick. Motherfuckers need to stop dick watching because it comes off as pretty gay. Especially if you're claiming to be straight and a masculine dude, it comes off as very feminine and very gay. There, I said it. I fucking said it. I had to say it. But again, we're worried about all this goofy shit going on with who's doing what, and then worrying about, all this crap going on in Egypt and whether Cleopatra was black or whatnot. We worry about all this shit, which, by the way, she was not black. She was Macedonian. You know, there's rumors that she was Greek with a little bit of Iranian. So no, she did not have any African American blood in her. So that we need to get the fuck off that shit. And the way to prove that shit is you gotta remember that around, I think, 343 BC was when Alexander the Great basically took Egypt from the Persians. Because that's what some people tend to forget is that at one point Xerxes was basically on a fucking rampage trying to take over all of Europe and the Middle East. Basically, that dude was just conquering shit just to conquer shit. And I think it was said he took over part of Egypt, and then Alexander the Great basically came in, beat the shit out of the Persian army, and then he gave Egypt to Ptolemy the First. And then since then, from there, that's when the Ptolemaic dynasty happened. And of course, if you know anything about history and you know anything about the Greeks, they did not intermingle with other races of people, especially if they were royalty. Because at the end of the day, they wanted to try to keep the bloodline pure. Apparently, they thought incest was keeping the bloodline pure. Right. Yeah, anyway. But again, back to what I was saying. We're worried about all this stupid shit, but we're not worrying about what's going on around us. Like, apparently, I think right now the government's trying to get rid of affirmative action. Yeah. So it's getting to that point where, that point they don't give a fuck about filling up a quota. At that point, they cannot hire you for any reason and not tell you. Doesn't matter if you're black or whatnot. They don't have to fucking hire you if they don't have enough black people there. You know, got that going away. And then another thing we're not talking about too is like, just the how fucked up the court system is when it comes to the whole. Oh no, not even the court system. Like I meant to talk about Section 8. They're getting ready to do away with Section 8. Yeah, they're about like the government right now is looking to stop Section 8. But no, we don't got nobody talking about that. Only reason I thought about the whole thing with the court system because I was thinking about the whole thing with Tyrese and his situation, which, by the way, in my opinion, I think he got fucked over on that. I don't give a fuck what nobody says. I feel like Tyrese got fucked on that one royally. Then again, at the end of the day, when it comes to the child support system, a lot of times when it comes to the fathers, it's always rigged against them. A lot of times I wish there was more support for, single fathers, but we never talk about that. We always talk about the single mother. Granted, I was raised by a single mother who, by the way, was an awesome mother, and I wouldn't trade her in for the fucking world. Like on some real shit, I would never trade that. I would never trade her in for the world because she instilled a lot of values in me that you would think a father would have instilled in me, like accountability, being honest, being a person of your word, being a man of your word. If you say you're gonna do something, you make sure you fucking do it and you follow through. That's shit I learned from my mom. Not worrying about what other people think about me. just continue to just keep being me. And if I believe in something and I say it and I believe it, stand on it. You know, I got that from my mom. You know, just like being accountable for when I make a mistake. I got that from my mom. Because let's be honest, I ain't perfect. If I'm gonna stand on my shit, if I'm saying a point and I believe in it, I'm gonna stand in it. I'm gonna stand on it. But if I'm proven to be wrong, I'll own it. Hell, my girlfriend, I tell you, there was one time when me and her, I forgot what the debate was. We had this retarded ass debate and we were going back and forth. And you know what? As much as I hate to say it, she actually put me in my place. And I had to concede. I had to be like, you know what, you're right. You're right. Like, there's nothing wrong with, you know, owning your shit. And I just don't understand like what it is with just I guess really just with American culture. Like we always feel the need we have to be right. I've never understood that. Like, why do we always feel like we have to be right? It's okay to be wrong. We need to take being wrong as like a learning lesson. Take that as an opportunity to learn something new. Because let's be honest, I'm gonna be honest about this. Always having to be right, it gets boring after a while. It gets old, and you don't grow from it. You never grow from that shit, like at all. You have absolutely no growth. So it's like as humans, we're supposed to be evolving, and if you're always being right, you're not going to evolve. It's just it is what it is. That's why we need to be educating ourselves. Like for instance, my fucking God, I saw this video last night and I shared it with a bunch of people last night where Jesus Christ. So there was this girl that was in the grocery store and I guess she was making like a PSA video and she's like, oh my God, guys, this is why we need to move out of America. And she goes to the meat aisle and she picks up a thing of veal loin chops and she says, they're selling lion chops. Are we fucking serious right now? Lion chops. Where the where in the fuck would you get lion chops from? What in the fuck are lion chops? And what lion do we have to hunt down to fucking make lion chops? Cause the way that shit look, it looked like it could have been a fucking lion cub, but even then I doubt that because lion cubs are bigger than a freaking lamb. Like I heard that shit and I was like, our education system is fucking doomed. It's fucking doomed. Because we're too busy worried about how kids feel versus having kids being able to fucking learn how to do basic math and fucking spell. It's fucking pathetic. Like this is why, like, when it comes to education system, there's like other countries that are like light years ahead of us. Prime example, China. Like, you got kids that are able to do like fucking nuclear physics before they even get to high school. But yeah, meanwhile, we got kids struggling how to fucking read. We're having fucking kids graduate out of high school barely being able to read at an eighth grade reading level. We have kids still not even being able to do basic math. Like we have kids not being able, we have people graduating out of high school not being able to do basic shit. And yet we're sitting up here wanting to throw all these extra classes and we want to get rid of, actual grades in school because apparently it makes kids feel fucking it apparently I guess they say it does something to their self-esteem or whatever. It makes them feel like they can't measure up to the other kids, like, because apparently grades are racist. Man, if you don't get the fuck out of here with that bullshit, the whole thing with grades being racist, get the fuck out of here. I'm sorry. When I was going to school, I looked at grades as like a competition. I looked at it as a way like, look, this is where, like, I look at it as a metric to kind of see how the fuck I'm doing in school. You know, I look at it like a grade as like a goal. Like, for example, if I'm studying for a test, I try to be like, look, my goal is to try to at least at a minimum get a B minus, but I want to shoot for an A minus. So I study my ass off so that way I ensure myself that I'm gonna not only just pass, but I'm not gonna do the bare minimum pass, but I want to do more than the bare minimum. That's the point of grades. And apparently, they try to find some way to use grades and find a way to make it racial. And it's like, no, it's not even that. Now, the fact that we got rid of grades, all kids have to do is just show up. But what are they getting out of that shit? Like, seriously, what are we getting out of that? What are we teaching them? What are we actually teaching kids? Like to me, it just comes off as like we're teaching kids they can just show up to work and just get by versus showing up, giving maximum effort and then being rewarded for it. Like that's all we're doing. We're coddling these kids nowadays, and it's like we're not realistically prepping kids for the real world, and it's sad. It's really sad, and I really like get scared for this next generation. Like I'm really scared for this next generation of kids that are about to come into this world because when they get out of high school, like the real world's gonna hit them, and when it hits them, it's gonna be a rude awakening. You know, the world's gonna eat them alive because their entire life, from kindergarten all the way to high school, their hand was being held. You know, it's a goddamn shame. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I'm just hoping to God that this next generation doesn't fuck it up. You know, it's bad enough. The people from my mom's generation, they were supposed to be the future, but because their parents fed them all like a bunch of false narratives, now they're just as fucked up. It's now we're just repeating history. You know, hopefully we don't repeat that shit. That's all I'm worried about is just repeating history. You know, it just goes back to something. We're just gonna be creating a never-ending cycle. It just kind of makes me think about one thing that me and my girlfriend was talking about. I'm gonna say this, and then I'm gonna go ahead and end it from here. Where I was talking to her about, it's funny how like as being black people in America, we talk about how white people did, how they basically broke us, discriminated against us. It wasn't even just white people. It was even, Asian people discriminated against us too. There was all a bunch of other races of people that discriminated against us. And the moment we get a little bit of power, what do? We do the exact same shit. And then we justify it by saying, well, they did it to us, so we're going to do it to them. And it's like, there's a reason why that saying two wrongs don't make a right exist. There's a reason for it. It's not to turn around and say, oh, it's not just because the whole thing to turn around and say, we got to be the bigger person. It's not just because of that. It's a way to break the cycle. It's a way to break a cycle of hate, to break a cycle of discrimination. It's a way to basically just stop repeating history. In order for something to stop repeating, you have to break that chain. That's all we got to do is just break the chains. And just maybe, we'll make a little bit of progress. It's your boy Darkstar Menace, Multiversal Threat. Appreciate everybody that showed up. Yeah, glad, thanks for listening. I do appreciate it. I'm gonna go ahead and dip out, catch some Z's, recharge mentally, get ready for work. After that, get ready for a freaking crazy ass show Saturday. So yeah. And I'm definitely probably gonna either watch Mario Brothers or Guardians of the Galaxy tomorrow. I'm definitely gonna watch Guardians of the Galaxy tomorrow. Probably gonna end up watching that, man. Appreciate it, Chase. By the way, if y'all haven't followed my boy Chase Bank, man, y'all need to follow him, man. But like I said, till the next time, y'all be safe out there. Till next one, peace.